Over the years, the city was incorporated back in 1953, and much of the city's growth historically has been by annexation. The biggest period of annexation was in the 60s, when the city grew tremendously by annexation. Now there's not a lot left to grow by annexation, and the last piece are these remaining islands in South Bellevue. And this includes several different neighborhoods that are all part of this South Bellevue annexation. The biggest is Eastgate, and Eastgate's about 80% of the area. Then there's Tamara Hills, and Hilltop, and Horizon View. So the area that's under consideration includes about 5,600 residents, about 750 acres, which is just over a square mile, and something a little over 2,100 housing units. It's predominantly single family, has very, very little commercial uses in it. So it's mostly residential areas, and they're well-established neighborhoods. Well, we've been approached over the years by a number of residents of these areas saying that they'd like to be annexed. And there are a lot of reasons for that, I think. The biggest one is that the county has been getting out of the business of providing urban services, and that the county really doesn't have the resources to provide those urban services. So the county has been basically on board with getting out of that business. And residents, I think, have seen that the county can no longer provide those services.
There are several advantages in the annexation process, but there's probably three that are really big. The first is that our tax rates will go down substantially from what we pay now with King County. The second is that the police protection, which we basically have almost none now with King County, will go up substantially. We'll actually have police that will go through the area on a regular basis. And the third is that we will have access to city leaders to be able to address our concerns for our area.
It might surprise a lot of people to see that, in fact, when you come into the City of Bellevue, your taxes will be lower than they are in King County. We do have utility fees, utility taxes, and those are higher in the city, but the property tax benefit more than offsets the change in the utility taxes. So to find out for any given house how it might affect your taxes as a whole, we've put together an online calculator. And you can punch in your address on the city's website and find out just how much you're likely to save in taxes by being part of the City of Bellevue as opposed to being still in King County. The process for annexation that's currently underway is what's called a petition form of annexation, and it's in two parts. The first part is actually what's called the notice of intent to petition for annexation, and at that point owners representing 10% of the assessed value of the property coming in to say we'd like to be annexed. The 10% petitions came in to the City Council on June 20th of this year, and the Council did accept them. That was for Eastgate and Tamara Hills. We're expecting that to happen in September for Hilltop and Horizon View. Once those are in, it sets in motion the second part of the effort, which is getting property owners representing 50% of the valuation of the area signing on to petitions. And that'll happen between now and November or so. If all of this takes place and the City Council does accept, as they've indicated they're willing to do, the annexation, then it could be effective in April 2012, and that's when people would see city services begin to be provided for the areas.
I believe very strongly that it's going to be much better for our community to be a part of Bellevue than it is now in King County. And an affiliation with Bellevue, which has a very good reputation in terms of their schools and their city, I think is just going to be a positive thing for this area.
From the standpoint of the city, if we annex now, we're able to take advantage of the state sales tax credit, which offsets the gap between the money that we will take in the budget versus what it costs us to serve the areas. People have asked what will change if these areas are annexed into the city. A lot won't change. These are well-established, mature neighborhoods, so in the standpoints of community character, things will be much like they are today. What will change is that people will have access to the city's neighborhood services, faster response time, closer local government. That will make a big difference. But in terms of community character, the areas will be much like they are today. So the city has a web page set up to provide more information about annexation. You can find the information at www.bellevuewa.gov/south-bellevue-annexation.htm. You can also contact Nicholas Matz at 452-5371 or Cheryl Kuhn at 452-4089. There will also be a series of meetings and open houses out in the annexation area, and we hope that a lot of interested residents will attend these meetings.
If you really would like to become involved with this process, to please go either to the Bellevue city site or the eastgatenews.com site and get put on an email list. We can use all the help we can get.